Hello there, and hope you guys are doing absolutely fine. So, at first, we are gonna take this wire, and you can get this wire at any hardware store. And then I'm gonna add tape to it because when you add tape to it, the clay sticks properly to the tape because it does not stick properly to the wire. Hence, it's good if you use a tape and cover the whole wire with it. Now, since we are making a snake, you can try to give whatever shape you want. Now I'm gonna give this a coiled shape so that this shape can just coil on my finger. And now coming to our clay, we're gonna take the resin and the hardener and we're gonna mix it. Please do watch my other tutorial videos which I have explained much about this clay, and you can check easily and you can get your doubts cleared over there as well. So once the clay is completely white after I mix it, so what I'm gonna do is add this clay over here simply like this. This thing is very easy to make, just you need to get some few tricks right, and this is something which anyone can do. So main thing over here is to make this parts by parts. So I'm gonna do a small tail portion first, and then later once after it's dry, I'm gonna add layers on it later. So currently I'm gonna just do this kind of motion right now over here, and it's good if you follow this method because it will help you to create even better, because this clay dries within 2 hours. So we don't have time to create a full snake first, and also it becomes easy to hold the other part and then create this clay part accordingly. And once after you completely add the clay over here, what you have to do later on is to keep on smoothing it. And after you smoothened it, now you can give the snake marks or the whatever snake, I don't know what you call it, snake scales mainly. Yeah, we call it scales. So you can use a spatula for this. You can also use other tools, but spatula is good because spatula also has an edge shape, and it also has a plain shape. So I can also try to uh, plane the other areas of the snake body with the help of the spatula. You can see over here as well. So this is the main trick that I'm using to create these snake scales. But if you can use another trick as well, whichever you like. So the main thing over here is that you have to be quick to make this. And now another thing that I'm using another tool over here, and now I'm trying to make the scales. Now I happen to have this tool with me. If you don't have this tool, you can use another tool as well. As I always say that there is no universal thing over here. There is no one specific thing over here. You can use any tool to create anything. Now this is a technique that I'm using to create the scales. Basically, this snake body is nothing, much difficult. All you have to do is just keep on creating the small scales, which takes a lot of time, by the way. It's always important to create these types of artwork because they are easy, and also it has a bit complicated part to it. Like it has a design on this like this. So whenever you create, it helps boost confidence to create even more complicated artworks in future. Now I'm skipping some of these parts because I'm not gonna show the whole thing, because if I do that then it will be like around 2 3 days video, which is not possible. Now to keep it dry, I'm using a spanner, so I'm just holding it properly and I'm keeping it to dry over here so that once after it's dry, we can create the upper body part like this. So I said before that I always create my artworks parts by parts. So once after the now lower portion is dry, now I'm gonna create the middle portion, and I'm gonna use the same trick over here like I did at the lower portion. I'm again gonna create the scale. So as I said before, there's nothing new over here. We're just gonna create the same scales, same body pattern, whole thing. Only once again I'm repeating that please be as fast as possible, because once after it gets dried up, you won't be able to create scales properly. And likewise, I created the body in three parts, and after the whole body was dry, now I'm coming back. Now I am creating the snake face, and That's the basic shape that first you must try to give to the snake. And once after this you get this shape, you can try to give the nose and to give the eyes as well. The first thing is I'm just creating some muscles on the snake face. Now snake face has little muscles on it. Now you can watch the image of whichever snake you are creating and you can create him likewise. Now to create the snake nose part and also the eyes part, you will need to have a silicone tool. Silicone tools are very necessary if you are creating sculpting or if you are into sculpting and if you are creating some complex shapes or mainly faces of any type of animal or humans. So I'm gonna currently use this silicone tool for this nose, and I am gonna use this ball tool. Where is ball tool? Yeah, this ball tool currently I will use it for the eyes, and I'll just press it and make the eyes a little big, because I'm gonna later on, once this is dry, I'm gonna add clay to the towards the eyes. I don't wanna do that later, not now. Currently I'll just make the head or the face look a bit accurate as possible. Also, I forgot to mention this before that snake bodies are kind of same, so you can create any snake with the help of this technique. And as I mentioned before, the muscles for the face, I'm again using the silicone tool for this. So I'm gonna create the head muscles and everything. So I'll just first, draw these muscles with the help of the tool, and then what I will do is I'll add water on it so it gets merged out and it looks good like this. And again, I have to do this more fast because I have to make scales on it. And same thing with scales again. I will use a spatula over here. I'm again skipping that part because I don't want the video to be much lengthy. It's already lengthy video, but still, because no one watches big videos these days. And once after this whole thing is hardened up or dried up, I'm gonna add the eyes to this, just taking a small amount of clay and then adding eyes to it. If you have watched the character tutorial before, please do watch it again, or do watch it if you haven't watched it, because that will give you an idea how to create characters from clay, because I had created a very easy character before. And coming to the painting part over here, I'm just adding black first, completely fully black, because black will just enter the, this is like watery black, so it will enter the snake scales and it will fit over there, it will sit over there, the color will sit over there, and then later on I will do some dry brushing on it so that it the the paint only comes up on the scales and it doesn't enter into the black part. You can see, you can get this type of results over here. While dry brushing, make sure that your clay is completely dry, not wet. Make sure that your paint is completely dry, not wet. And while giving a black wash to it, make sure your paint is more watery. This is the main thing. And here our snake is completely ready after drying up. After whole paint dried up, I added some satin varnish to it. So it also has a little shiny look over here. And later on, I added gloss varnish to his eyes as well. So yes, this is so after painting is ready right now, and it looks good as per me. But you can create even more better. But I'm just artist who keeps on trying by trial and error method. But I feel you guys are you guys can create even more better things. So do try this out and do let me know once after you make this in the comment section, or you can also send me your artworks on my Instagram page as well. That is at SMM Creations, same name. So like this, I can keep it on my finger as well. Looks good for photos, and it can also look good as a decor as well.